lousy pages. Okay, last little topic I want to touch on before lunch is split testing, because normally with these, particularly like ClickFunnels and GrooveFunnels, with these software tools, they're geared around you being able to do what's called split testing. And split testing, also called A/B testing, is where you have two versions of your web page, version A and version B, and you're testing what different effect changing one of those things makes. So a common thing that you split test would be price. You would try price A versus price B and see which one sells the most. And what a split test plugin does, if you're using WordPress, is basically splits your traffic in half. So half of the people see version A, half of the people see version B. So both version A and version B have had the same amount of traffic to them, but you can then see which one made you the most amount of revenue to decide which one is the best converter, which one is making you the most amount of money. So here's some examples of some split tests that have been run and the sort of differences that you might see, and it's actually quite interesting. So the top left, let's start there, the month effect. So calling something a $500 giveaway versus the May $500 giveaway, obviously for a promotion running in May, then actually has a 40% increase in people taking up the offer. And the part of the reason is there's an implicit expiry on the offer. If it's May and you see the thing that says May 500 giveaway, the implication is that it's not going to be there at the end of May. So depending on what date it is in May, if it's now the 16th of May, that's like there's 15 days left to go. So it's the 29th of May. Christ, I really better get on this quick. There's only 2 days left to go. So this is a good example of that. If we go on the next one on the top right, I love this one. It's the stating the obvious effect, right? The only difference between these two is one says enter and one says enter in seconds. I don't know about you, but to type in my email address definitely only takes seconds. So it's stating the bloody obvious, isn't it? Enter in seconds versus enter. But look, 33% more people entered the one on the right. Middle left, promotion labeling effect. So calling it a $500 promotion versus a $500 sweepstake versus a $500 giveaway. Giveaway versus, instead of promotion, got 50% more people going for the opt-in. So interesting use of language. People like the word giveaway because it implies they're being given something. Promotion feels like it's selling you something, right? Image effect, 22% increase by having a little picture of a gift card, right? An imaginary gift card rather than just having the words Visa gift card. And then down the bottom there, light box effect. This is where the whole background of the window goes dim when a pop-up box appears. It's called a light box pop-up, and you've probably seen this on websites. When a pop-up box appears, the rest of the site gets dimmed out. 62% more people opted in for that. And then bottom right, with 125%, so more than twice as many opt-ins, just moving where the opt-in box appears from the left to the right. But there's more to it than that. If you look at it on the right, it's actually over the top of the video, which means you can't watch the video until you get rid of the opt-in box. There's only two ways to get rid of the opt-in box: enter your details or close it. But if you close it, it might not come back again. And people have FOMO. They don't want to miss out on getting the freebie, whatever it was. So they complete the box when otherwise they would have deferred their decision about what to do with the pop-up box, because they've got to do something with it in order to watch the video, and they want to watch the video. So that's an interesting little trick for increase in opt-in rate. So subtle little differences there, but what a difference they can make. That's why it's really important to test these different nuances and see what a difference it makes in your business. Now, there is a tool from Google, which is their optimization tool. And we'll talk about this tomorrow when we do a session on Google Analytics with our Google expert, Hemel, who's coming to talk about that. But you can actually do these tests using Google. So they've got a free tool for running these as well. So it's called the Google Optimize tool. And you basically make two versions of your page, or you can actually test more than two things at a time. And what it will do is it will rotate those versions of your web page and show half the customers each variation, if there's an A/B split test, for example. And then it'll tell you which one is the better one. And it gives you a probability uncertainty as well. So it it's looking at the volume of people that have been through the test as well to get statistical significance on that test. So that's a free tool from Google for doing split testing. If you've got a WordPress website, there is a really good free plugin for WordPress called Simple Page Tester. And what that does is basically the process is this: you make your sales page, then you install this plugin, and then you duplicate your main sales page. So then you've got two versions of your main sales page, and then you go and change one thing, just one variable about the page. And that one variable is going to be the price or the headline or where the opt-in box appears or whatever. Just change one thing. And then you can look at this and you can see which one is getting the most conversions and choose which one is your winner. So it's a free plugin for WordPress. So my question to you, and your question for thinking about over lunch, is what are the kinds of things that you could test in your business? What would be relevant to you? So you could test price. You could test a text sales page versus a video sales page. Rather than have loads of word on your page, just have a video of you talking about what it is that you offer. You can test different headlines. You can test different bonuses that you give away. You can test different people's testimonials. I had an experience where I spoke in Germany a number of years ago, and actually I gave lots of testimonials of people that had literally made millions from internet marketing. And the sales weren't that great. And the feedback I got from someone that was there was, your testimonials were too good. So I don't understand. I said, well, German people, they're very realist people, and they would find those testimonials, so impressive that they can't compute that. That defies logic for them, because they're very logical thinkers, engineering sort of thinkers, and they would like to see. The feedback I got, it was really interesting, was you would sell more if your testimonials were for people making 200, 300, 400 grand a year, not people making millions per year. So the next time I went to Germany, I tried it, and guess what? I sold twice as much stuff by actually down valuing, choosing testimonials that were less significant. So sometimes a different testimonial can work differently for a different audience, and sometimes it's to do with the connection with the person watching the testimonial. So if you're pitching and your audience are primarily old, let's say your target audience is older, and you're offering a lose weight product, then if the testimonial is someone who's, say, over 50 that's lost a lot of weight, that's going to be more relevant and resonate more with them than if your testimonial is of someone who's 22 and has lost weight. So that's an example of how a different testimonial can make a big difference to the conversion rate. Long copy versus short copy. So having a really long sales page versus a short sales page. More images versus less images. Different kinds of guarantees. 10x your return on investment versus a 12-month guarantee, for example. So think about, for your business, how could you mix up the offer a bit? How could you change things? How could you change the way you present your offer, and test and see what a difference it makes?